What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Joe Cypher, in the building. You heard? So today we're going to be cooking breakfast egg rolls. I know y'all wondering, like, breakfast egg rolls, where they do that at? Where they do it out here. So I'm going to go ahead and show y'all what we got. We got everything prepared. We're going to put some peppers, some red peppers, some green peppers. We got some cilantro. We got some garlic, onions. We're gonna put eggs in it. We got some sausage in here. Jimmy Dean is the best sausage. This is premium pork sausage. We got the egg roll wraps. We're gonna put some potatoes in there. That's a little switch up. A lot of people don't do that. I like to put potatoes in mine. We got some cheese, red pepper, some black pepper, and then we're not gonna put no salt in it because a lot of the stuff already has salt in it already. We don't want to over season it. And then we got this red all natural seasoning from Red Robin. Yum. I took that one time I was there eating. So that's what we're gonna put in there. All right, so check this out. We're gonna get ready to prepare everything for you guys. Stay tuned. All right, so what we did was went on to cut up these potatoes. I want to get these potatoes on before I start cutting everything up because these are gonna take a while to cook. About 15 minutes, I cut them up. So once they get nice and soft, then I can go ahead and add them to my mix. So now what you want to do is, while the potatoes are cooking, you want to get your meat and put it in the pot, and you want to cook this. We're going to break it up so it's not going to take too long. And what I did was I put a little bit of oil on the bottom of the pan, all right? So you go ahead and break this up. I got the heat, medium heat. And you don't need too much of the meat because once you mix it in with the potatoes and the eggs, it's going to all fill in pretty well, all right? So make sure you break this up really fine because the smaller you can get it broken up, the better. If they don't all break up initially, no big deal because once it hardens, you can continue to break it down so it'll be smaller. Also, I don't use metal on my pans because that's how you can scratch up your pan. So make sure you get you something that's non-metallic or softer material, or even wood will work. That way you're not damaging your pan. Now we got all the greenery cut up. I got the green peppers and the red peppers and onions and the, what you call this stuff right here? You call that garlic. Bam, got the garlic and everything cut up. So I can continue to let that meat cook, and I'm going to use the same pan from the meat. That way I don't, keep the dishes down and everything. So once it's done, then I can use a lot of the oil that came out of the meat to saute my vegetables. A little tip I like to do, because as long as you can clean as you go, and you can use the same pan for different things, you can minimize a lot of the cleanup. While we're waiting for that to finish cooking, I'm gonna show you guys. So I use sesame oil. It's actually medium-high heat that you can use this on. So that's why I got the stove at medium-high, but this is really good oil. It's a little bit less fatty. Now that we got the meat done, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in a separate bowl. Remember, you don't have to overcook everything because it's gonna cook again when we're actually putting it in the egg roll. So by taking it off the heat and putting it in this bowl, it's gonna still continue to cook. Right? So once we get that in there, then we can go ahead and put the vegetables in here now and get those sauteing. So now what you want to do is actually put these vegetables in the pan, the onions, the peppers, red peppers, green peppers, and the garlic. We'll go ahead and scrape that in the pan, set that to the side, and then go ahead and get these nice and sauteed up. So I'm trying to be a little bit on the healthier side, so I'm not going to put any more oil in there because I got oil from the sausage already in there, If you look hard enough, you'll notice I got Gucci sandals on because these are the best cooking shoes, the Gucci sandals, Gucci slides. So make sure you get you some good cooking shoes because the better your cooking shoes are, you allow you to be on your feet a lot longer. So we're going to get these nice and sauteed up, cut the heat up a little bit. So now we got the onions and the vegetables nice and cooked down. So like again, you don't have to overcook them because of that. We're gonna check these potatoes real quick, see how they doing. Again, we're not making mashed potatoes, so it don't necessarily have to be overly soft either. So you can take your fork, stick it in there, and see how they just went in there. Look, it's even falling apart, but they're still holding together. So these are going to be done, and they only been there for a few minutes or so. So that's why I cut them up. So go ahead and cut these potatoes off real quick. Go ahead and cut the fire off on there. Now in the end, all this stuff is going to end up together in the same place. So what we're going to do is go ahead and put these onions and peppers and the garlic in there with the meat. So now that can chill a little bit. So make sure you get it all. But if you don't, no big deal, because we're going to be cooking the eggs next. Get that in there like that. Wow. So now we're going to drain these potatoes out. Again, since we're trying to keep the dishes down, because we don't want to wash a lot of dishes, we can go ahead and use this cutting board. Since it's already dirty, we already used it to cut the thing. We can use the cutting board to cover that up so we can drain the water out of the potatoes. Work smarter, not harder. Be careful though, you gotta have a steady hand in order to do this. Otherwise, you're gonna waste your potatoes if you ain't steady hand enough. So, bow, got those nice and drained out. See that? Look at that steam. After putting the potatoes in here with the rest of our mix, I'm gonna break them down a little bit, see? Because I don't want them that thick. So I'm like mashing them without like making mashed potatoes, but just breaking them up so I can have them more. If I break one of those squares into 5, then I got 5 times as many potatoes. So, and then it's gonna break it down a little bit more when I actually go to mix it. So it's more like a chunky mashed potato. See that? That's perfect right there. I'll go ahead and dump that in there with the rest of my mix. Now we're gonna go ahead and cook our eggs. And traditionally I will mix it in another bowl, but since today is the day of keeping the dishes down, you can go ahead and just crack the egg and put it straight into the pan like that. That saves me a whole another bowl with the 9 in. We're gonna save these eggshells for our garden, for compost. So we're gonna set those aside. You want your heat extra high for these eggs. A lot of people go wrong because they have the heat too high and then the eggs burn. So you just want them to slowly cook. And I season as I go. So a lot of times when I'm cooking, I'm seasoning at every level. Some people will just season the item or whatever dish they're making all together. You got to season as you go. Obviously, if you don't, use a lot of salt or don't like seasonings, you like your food bland, and you're going to keep a little bit more bland. So I put a little black pepper in there. I'm actually putting some red pepper flakes in it too. Not too many. Not trying to burn people down. And then, again, the secret ingredient is this Red Robin seasoning. If y'all ain't up to this, y'all definitely might want to pick up some. You can get it from their website, or you can, do it like I did and get it from the actual Red Robin. So you're going to sprinkle a little bit in there, like that. And don't mind if it looks like I'm over seasoned, I'm not, because it's going to all mix in anyway. Bow. Perfect. Let's go ahead and, finish cooking these eggs. A lot of people don't like to overcook their eggs. However, I like my eggs well done and hard, so I actually overcook it purposely because I don't like runny eggs. That nice and mixed up. Now the eggs are nice and cooked hard, just like I like it. We're gonna go ahead and scrape these in the bowl with the rest of our things. Like I said, in the end, it's gonna all mix together either way, so go ahead and scrape that in there. Like such. Bam. Perfect. Now that we got all the stuff in there together, we can go ahead and mix these up. Make sure you mix it from the bottom, pour it up, because remember, you put that meat in there first. And you want to get it a nice mixture. So you go down, pull up, mix, pull up, and turn the bowl as you go. That way it get nice and coated with everything. It's looking good already. I can just spoon it out like this and eat it. But I'm not gonna be greedy today. I'm gonna make sure we get the finished product. So, and a lot of people don't do is my secret ingredient right here. You're gonna throw a little salsa in there. See this? See the green salsa? Sprinkle a little salsa in there. Not too much. You don't want it runny, but just enough to get that caliente flavor. You know what I mean? Being a California native, I'm used to that caliente flavor of things. All right, we got that nice and mixed up. We'll go ahead and move on to our next step. Now what we want to do is cut up some cheese. You can use shredded cheese or you can shred your own cheese. I personally don't like shredded cheese because for whatever reason, it doesn't taste as good as like a block of cheese, so to speak, right? So I do like to cut my own cheese. That way I get that flavor, that flair, that government type, kick to it, So if you know, you know. But that's what my thing is. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and cut my cheese up real good. You don't want too much because we're not making cheesy egg rolls. But, you can always have a little cheese in whatever you're cooking. So once I get it cut up real good and when I put it in a bowl to finish mixing it, then it'll break apart some more because it's a little sticky right now. But don't mind that if it's sticking a little bit. So we're going to just tear that off like that. All right, and now we can go ahead and scrape that to our mixture. So, just like that. Perfect. Now, if you continue to mix this one more time, I want to mix it in there earlier because it's cheese. I don't want it to pre-melt. So now that I'm about to wrap them, I can go ahead and mix them. And you notice how they are broke apart, and now it's evenly distributed throughout the mixture because I'm going with that down up motion again that we talked about and the spin technique. Pause. Now you can do this a couple of ways. You can actually roll it, but the main key is not to overfill your shells. They're not shells, but I'm gonna call them shells. So not overfill your shells. So you want to get the right amount in there. So one way you can do it is to fold the sides. Actually, let me get a little bit more in there. Okay, I'm big hungry today, so bam. So one way is you can lay it like that. I should just do it like this way. You can fold the sides up like that, and then that'll allow me to roll it as such. So when I talked about not putting too much, so this one I got a little bit too much in there. So we're gonna go ahead and dump a little bit out. No biggie. Dump it out. Continue to roll it. See that? Now I'm gonna take a little water. Keep a little water by your side. That way, when you want to seal it, go like that. Wet. And you can seal it. And if they're not pretty, no big deal. They're gonna get better as you go. So watch. The next one is gonna be a little bit better than that one because you get the technique down. So now let's try it again. Go ahead, fill it up. And now I know a little bit, have a better idea of how much to put in there, how much not to put in there. Because I just did it just now. So, put it like that. We're gonna try that same technique. We're gonna try the sides. I'm gonna go ahead and get it closer to me right here. Take the sides, roll that up like that. And then you wanna just roll it like a pig in a blanket. Look at that. And you can tuck these as you go, the flaps. See that? See how it's going here and rolling? Now look, this one's a lot better than the last one. Gonna wet this right there, or you can wet this side right here. Either way. Man, look at that. Perfect. Look like a perfect man. I need to go ahead and get me a restaurant. Wow. So we're gonna continue to roll these. Let me guys show you the other technique. So there's another technique you can go where you actually go at an angle. Some people may use this technique. Put that like that. See? Stand by, be right back. Got a guest. So the next technique I'm teaching you guys is to go at an angle. Once again, you put that mountain in there. You fold it like that. Now you can fold this like such. Fold that like that, like you putting a diaper on the baby. And then you roll it like this. See that? Make sure you wet your fingers, get the tip nice and wet. Pause. And then, wow. See that? It's another technique and they look just as good. Learn something new every day, right? So now we got them all nice and rolled up. Y'all can take a look at them right there. Bam, you know. Just cooking for a couple people, so it ain't gotta be too much. Now, what I'm doing is I'm air frying them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and spray it just lightly on both sides. Bow, put that in there like that. We're gonna spray this side just lightly, both sides. And what this is gonna do is gonna allow it to crisp up, right? Don't worry about it coming off a little bit. Go ahead and spray that right here, like that. It's gonna crisp up.
Gotta get some for diamond.
And then these, since it's now on one level, I'm gonna go ahead and spray these on the countertop so I ain't gotta twist them up, run out of space in there like that. Bow. Wow, see that? I'm gonna go ahead and put these in there like such. So it don't matter if it's a couple of them on top of them, I'll move it around. Bow, like that. Now we're gonna take it, go ahead and put it in the air fryer. Like such. Let's see. Go ahead and cut that on. And bang, 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 based off of my calculation, we're gonna make sure we hit air fry. We're gonna hit two. Hit two. Got air fry. And then we'll go ahead and put it in for 20 minutes. Bam. See that? We're gonna cut that one off. Don't mind that one. Now we got extra filling, so we don't like to let anything go to waste. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna make a quick sandwich because we don't like stuff to go to waste around here. So load that sandwich up, and we can load it up because it's the last of it. And what we're gonna do is go ahead and fry this up. It's gonna glue together once we get it nice and fried. Smash it down real good like that. See that? And look, what do we have here? The Old Faithful. Old Faithful. I'll throw that on this lean, mean, fat grilling machine. Go ahead and plug that in. Right that there. Put that on Miznats. And in 4-5 minutes, we gonna be Gucci. Okay, check this out. Ooh. See that there? And this is just a leftover. I'm gonna open it up so y'all can take a look at it. That's just a leftover. So go ahead and pick that up. Bam. See that? Hello. Clean this up. Got a few more minutes left on the air fryer. We're in the game. Here's your moment of truth, everybody. Look at that. Got that nice and crispy. See that? Look Got googly. Good googly. And it's healthier because I didn't fry it. You heard? There you have it, guys. Breakfast egg rolls. From yours truly, Joe Cypher and the Ghetto Gourmet. Please hit the subscribe button down below. Share it with your friends. That's how we get the YouTube algorithm up. You know, let me know, guys, what you think in the comments. The 50th comment, I'm going to personally mail them a personalized recipe book. So the 50th comment. All right, let's go. See y'all next time. Peace.